This is part 2 of lesson 1 about rocks, and so I have my notes ready. Rocks, any naturally occurring solid mass or aggregate of minerals or mineraloid matter.
America is still the land of rugged individualists. America is...
So, what are rocks? Rocks are combinations of minerals, and they may contain organic remains. And over here we have some different minerals and different combinations of them depending on the pressure and the heat and all the things that happen to those minerals can make different kinds of rocks. So scientists classify rocks by their, this is on page 45 to 47, and it's in your notes, so you need to write these down. Mineral composition and color, so what they are made of and what they look like. Texture, how they feel, and origin, where they come from. And so that's how, if you have a rock like this one, its color, its texture, what makes it, and then where it comes from, how it was made. That is how I'm going to determine what rock this is. There are 3 main types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So any kind of rock you can put into one of these 3 categories, and they're in your table right here. So we'll just jump in. Igneous rocks, these are page 48 to 51. Cooled and solidified lava or magma. I learned this. Magma is it's molten rock, and that's in this, like, underneath the surface of the earth, and then when it comes out and it's molten rock, that's lava. So when it cools, whether it's under the surface or if it's above the surface from a volcano, that would make igneous rock. And so these are some different types of igneous rocks: andesite, basalt, diorite, gabbro, granite, obsidian. Okay, you can see the rest of those. And so something that's usually, not always, but they have these like kind of holes. There's porous, but characteristics of them, I think I already said that they're cooled lava. And then some examples. You don't have to put all the examples, but granite is like the most common one. And so I have granite right here. Okay. And so again, all of these rocks were cooled or solidified magma. So rock from other places melted, and then when it cooled eventually, that was igneous rock. Okay. The next kind is sedimentary, and so this is on page 52 to 57 in your book. They form on Earth's surface when minerals are cemented together. That's kind of the basics. Write small in here. If you want to write that here, you're going to have to write a little bit more for this than the last one. So most common, limestone. You guys probably have heard of that before. Down there in Bedford, Indiana, it's actually the limestone capital of the world. Mr. Roach, his dad, that's his job, is to carve limestone, and he can make it into different structures. And like, he's done some work for Indiana University. A lot of Indiana University's structures and steps and things like that are made of limestone. So how does limestone form? It's a process. So first, rocks on the surface of Earth. Okay, so maybe they were igneous rocks, maybe they were metamorphic rocks, but they're on the surface. Okay, when weather, so like snow and rain and freezing and thawing and all this stuff here, you can read, when it breaks off pieces of rocks on the surface, those go down, and then erosion is what carries it away, right? So the rain's going to pull it down. So weathering breaks it up, the rain will pull it down. Deposition, that's when it's deposited. So here it'll sink to the bottom of the water. Compaction, it packs it down. And then eventually cementation is when they crystallize and they're stuck together, and that's sediment. Okay, so if rocks do this, that's sedimentary rocks. And so what's common with them is that they're like kind of in layers, right? Because they're different materials that have stuck together. I think that's all we need for sedimentary. So examples, like I said here, you can put limestone, shale, flint. Okay, you don't have to put all of them. Definitely put limestone. And then I would like for you somewhere to at least write this process. So weathering and erosion, next is deposition, next is compaction, next is cementation. You will want to know what each of those things mean. And then the last type is metamorphic. Okay, it's page 58 to 61. Heat and pressure cause these rocks. So when enough rock builds up on top of each other, so the sedimentary rock, right? Eventually more sedimentary rock's going to come on top of that, right? So unless it somehow comes out and you have it, it's going to keep building on top of each other and it's going to pack it down. This takes millions of years. But when it packs it down enough heat and pressure are going to squeeze out all the air. And then now, instead of it being sedimentary rock, it's now metamorphic. And so the most common one is marble. And I have some marble here so you guys can see. This is a type of marble. White marble, number 7 on our list. So I would write down marble. So for types, marble, you can also write slate. You don't have to write all of those, but if you want to, you can. And those are, okay, yeah, so just a summary. You can write this down if you want to. Yeah.